The computer did not say maybe. It said an American nuclear missile had been launched at the Soviet Union. Inside a command center outside Moscow, alarms sounded. A red warning appeared. The system rated the attack as real. Then it reported another missile, and another, until 5 were apparently crossing the sky. The officer watching the screen was Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov. His job was not to launch the Soviet Union's weapons. It was, in its own way, more immediate. He had to decide what the warning meant before he reported it to the people who could. It was shortly after midnight on September 26, 1983. 3 weeks earlier, Soviet forces had shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007, killing everyone aboard. Relations between the Soviet Union and the United States were dangerously tense. Each side expected the other to be capable of the worst. That was exactly what the new Soviet Oko system had been built for. Satellites watched American missile fields from space. Their purpose was to detect the heat of a launch early enough to give Soviet leaders a few additional minutes. On this night, the machinery appeared to be doing its job. Petrov was 44. He had trained as an engineer and served in the Soviet Air Defense Forces. At Serpukhov 15, he sat between a new computer system and a military chain of command operating under extraordinary pressure. When the first alert arrived, the screen declared a launch with high confidence. But the pattern troubled him. If the United States had chosen to begin a nuclear war, why would it open with 1 missile? Then, when the count rose to 5, the same question remained. A genuine first strike was expected to involve hundreds of weapons, an attempt to overwhelm Soviet defenses before they could respond. 5 missiles could destroy cities. But 5 missiles did not look like the war Petrov had been trained to expect. There was another problem. The warning came from satellites. Ground radar had not confirmed it. That did not make him safe. Radar could only see an incoming missile after it rose above the horizon. If the satellite warning was real, waiting for confirmation would consume much of the time Soviet leaders believed they had to make a decision. Around Petrov, the system was demanding certainty before certainty was possible. Later, he remembered the siren howling and the word launch blowing on the screen. He had a telephone connecting him to his superiors. The information he gave them would help shape what happened next. The simplest action was to trust the machine and pass the warning upward as an attack. Petrov did not. He reported a system malfunction. It was not a calm act of perfect confidence. He later said he believed the odds were only 50-50. He had not proved the computer wrong. He had judged that its story did not make sense. Then there was nothing to do but wait. If the warning was genuine, American warheads would soon reach Soviet territory. Petrov would have spent the last minutes before impact telling his commanders there was no attack. 1 minute passed, then another. The screens still insisted missiles were coming. No ground radar found them. Approximately 23 minutes after the first warning, the expected impact time passed. Nothing arrived. The computer had been wrong. Investigators eventually found an extraordinary cause. Sunlight had reflected from high-altitude clouds at an angle the satellite system had not properly anticipated. The computer interpreted those reflections as the fiery exhaust of American missiles. The system had detected light, then turned it into the end of the world. Petrov's role has often been compressed into a cleaner legend. One man refused to press a button and single-handedly stopped nuclear war. That is not what happened. He did not control the launch of Soviet missiles. Any retaliation would have required decisions by senior military and political leaders. No one can know with certainty what those leaders would have done if the alert had reached them as a confirmed attack. But that does not make Petrov's decision small. An early warning system existed to create a few precious minutes. On this night, it used those minutes to deliver false certainty. Petrov prevented that false certainty from traveling upward unchanged. His judgment created room for reality to catch up. The incident remained secret for years. Petrov was questioned, and he was criticized for gaps in the written log from a night when he had been handling alarms, telephones, and frightened people. He later left the military. Only after the Soviet Union had ended did the wider world begin to learn what had happened inside Serpukhov 15. Recognition followed slowly. Petrov was honored internationally and became widely known as the man who saved the world. He resisted the title. He said he had simply been the right person in the right place. That may be the most unsettling part of the story. The world did not become safe because the machines worked perfectly. It remained intact because, for a few minutes, one person understood that a confident system could still be wrong. The warning demanded obedience. Stanislav Petrov gave it judgment.